On to this week's version of Kitsap Weekly Market Stats. This is your first time. My name is Joey Walker. I'm a local real estate agent here in Kitsap County with the DeQuee team at Keller Williams West Sound. And I am proud to bring this weekly little breakdown of our market, of our stats, which is super important for you, active buyers and sellers out there. If you know someone that's actively buying or selling, getting ready to, knowledge is power. So I love to provide this information to you because you can talk to people all you want around town and people can tell you this or that or listen to the news, but really these are the actual factual numbers I like to bring you guys every single week. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to break down the stats like I always do. I have actually a new stat I want to go over today because we are seeing what we call a shift in the market, okay? Tides are changing. I'm not expecting, I'm not seeing crashing or anything like that, but things are changing. And so I like to break that down and what that means for you and what that could hopefully help you move, decide on, whether or not to take action at this point and move forward. Anyways, I'm going to break down the stats for you, but then also I want to focus on buyers right now, all right? And just to not overanalyze things and just think of it like this. Okay, so I'll get to that later. But first, this is for the week of June 14th through the 20th, and here we go. So I mentioned there's a shift, right? Well, a lot of times when shifts happen, there's fear along with that, right? People are watching the news, and they don't really know what to do, so they put a pause on things, and that is what we're actually seeing. As last week, we only had 119 new homes hit the market. That's actually a great number if it was a year ago, but this number has been going down now for consecutive weeks. And here we are at the end, towards end of June, where it should be the hottest, the most activity going on right here. Kids are out of school, a lot of buying. Everyone thinks in real estate, summer's the time to buy homes and sell homes. Okay, well, only 119 new homes. It's actually a drop of 22% over just a couple weeks ago. Okay, so sellers still need your help out there. It's still a good time to sell. You might be hearing all this stuff going on out there, but all that equity they got built up in the last couple of years, most of it's still there. I'd say a good 85, 90, 95% of it is still there. So don't be scared. Sell if you need to, okay? Because you might be regretting that down the line. List price reduced. This is a number, holy cow, that just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. And I put stars next to certain stats because those are the ones that I see as there's evidence or proof that there's a shift going on, okay? And one is list price reduced. We had 94 homes lower their price this past week. Essentially 20% of our entire inventory. 1 out of 5 homes out there said, I overpriced. I need to lower it. I'm not getting activity. I'm not getting offers. I need to lower this. I need to sell this thing now. So again, that number just a few months ago was in the single digits. Here we are almost hitting 100 homes. So 94 homes lowered their price. Again, suggesting maybe there's a little bit of a shift here, okay? So maybe we're going down the bell curve of the market. 94. Pending. So the actual activity last week, we had 127 homes go pending, meaning they had offers accepted, and 120 homes sold. Transactions closed, buyers got keys, sellers got cash, done. 120 homes. What's very interesting is these numbers are almost the same. For the longest time, we had this pending number was always 40 to 60 to 70 units higher than sold. So this is going to be a very interesting, which just tells me there's a little bit of a pause going on because solds, these are from pendings that happened maybe 4 weeks ago, okay? But now we're starting to see a lot of it's slowing down. Essentially, it's just slowing down. And it makes sense because when we get to inventory, which here I am, let's just go right into it. We have officially eclipsed 500 homes. And this is including condominiums as well. But here we are. I have never seen it's been years since we've seen 500 homes on the market at one point. 508 homes out there right now. I mean, the popular saying the last couple of years is that there's no homes out there. There's no homes. We have 508 right now, which makes sense because we've had, hundreds of new listings coming on, but here the pending is slowing down. This is down Pendings is down about 20% from just 2 weeks ago. Solds is still right around the same. Our inventory is growing. Okay. Now, what we know about basic economics is as inventory goes up, as supply goes up, demand comes down. And now with the higher interest rates that's going down, it's even pressing harder on the buyers and less demand. So will we see average sold prices go down? We'll see. Are we going to see pricing essentially coming down now? But another sign of a shift. Look at that. 508 is where our inventory was. Now, consecutive days on market. Well, geez, everything's slowing down. You think days on market would be higher, but it's still at 11. Why is that? Because this stat is from homes that went under contract, a month ago. The ones that sold. So essentially, the 120 homes that sold that went under contract a month ago, they were on average for 11 days. I'm seeing this number go higher. I predict here in the next few weeks, we're going to see this number jump pretty quickly too, because I believe the shift happened right around the time that these homes went under contract a month ago. I will not be surprised in the next couple of weeks when you see this number jump up pretty good. Okay, so homes are going to be lasting on the market longer. I'm seeing it. Okay, well, all this is essentially insinuating that average home price is going down, right? Well, this is the price of, this is not including Bainbridge Island. The average home sold for 608, which has dipped a little bit, but not much, less than 1% than previous weeks. Why? The same thing as this. This stat is from the past, okay, because these are homes that went pending a month ago, okay? Same with the days on market. So the price hasn't really been reflected yet. I do predict that just like days on market, we're going to see a drop here in the following weeks and months, okay? Again, a very interesting, but as of now, it's only been about less than 1% from the median. Again, this number is pretty volatile. You get one giant sale out there for a multi-million-dollar home. It's going to kind of skew numbers a little bit here, but it's still interesting just to see consistency of these numbers and see if we're starting to see a trend downward. But again, these two numbers are from 30 days ago. This number, but I believe the shift happened about a month ago. So I predict here in the next couple of weeks, these numbers are going to be changing. Just like this one, average sold price to list price was only, and I say only because at this point last year, this number was at 112 point whatever percent. It was over 12% higher. Homes were selling higher than original list price. This past week, only 101.4. The homes were selling on average almost at the same price as they're listed. Okay, for the longest time, the list price, the initial list price, essentially, it's like going to an auction and saying, "This is our starting bid. All right, let's go," and it gets racked up like crazy, right? But this is like going to the auction and say, all right, this is our starting bid, and you have two people that just bump it up a little bit, and then we're done. Okay, so on average, homes only sold for 1.4% higher, which that's very drastically different than what we've seen. Again, this is a number from the past. This is the number from those homes that sold last week. I predict, again, this number might even go underneath 100%. Might actually go below, which we have not seen that in years, okay? It's a very fascinating time we're living right now. Just things are happening right in front of us. And the last that I want to go over is the number of sold homes that sold above list price. Okay, they're kind of tied in with this one. And we only had 57. Only 57% of homes last week sold above list price, which that number was well into the 70s and 80s percentiles for years. But we're seeing less and less homes sell below list price. In fact, that is about an 18% drop from just 2 weeks ago. All right. So all these stats are insinuating a shift. That's different than a year ago. Very different. Things are changing. Okay. Now, as I transition into my little topic here about focus on this buyers, okay, potential buyers, focus on this one aspect when you are shopping right now, because life happens. People are still going to be buying and selling homes. Who cares what's going on out there? People still have to live and they have to move and do things. So buyers, look at it this way. Don't be just watching the news and freaking out, okay, and getting completely out because you're just scared, okay? If you have to buy right now, which there are people out there that have to buy, just focus on this. Don't get paralysis by analysis, they call them. You think about all these different things. Think about this one thing. When you go talk to your lender, and they get you locked in, they get your lending all taken care of, they will still give you that number that you need to sit at to live comfortably, okay? Whatever that number is for home price. If that price still works with you, and still works for your monthly payment, your monthly mortgage payment, and you find a home that fits your needs, who cares? Just go get a home. Just go get a home. And then you might be thinking to yourself in a year from now, who knows what it's going to look like a year from now. You're thinking, man, I'm so glad I got into a home because guess what? I got the house, the price is locked in, it's not changing, all right? Interest rates will change. Rental rates, you know, if you're renting right now, they could go up very well, could be going up. They usually always go up. Those things change, but your monthly payment will not change. So don't get totally freaked out about, even if, you buy a house and the value of it goes down in the next couple of years, if you're planning on living that home for at least 5 years, there likely is going to be, we're going to ride the wave. It always corrects itself, right? So we might be going down, but if you plan on living there for a long time, who cares? Just get the house, get it at the price that works for you, and live your life. And then all of a sudden, 10 years down the road, wow, the price is up again. Okay, so don't focus so much about what's going on. If it works for you right now. Now, if it doesn't work for you right now, if the budget doesn't make sense, the numbers don't make sense, then don't put yourself in a really sticky situation. Okay, so that's my advice for buyers right now. Is don't get so freaked out about what you're hearing out there and all this kind of stuff. If you do need to buy, which a lot of you still need to buy homes, I would encourage you. It's actually kind of a great time because you can still lock in at a pretty reasonable rate. Historically speaking, I would do it sooner than later because we're still going to see some more Fed ups in the interest rates here in the coming months, where they're going to raise it more basis points. So if you have to buy, lock into that rate. And guess what? Look at all this inventory now you get to select from, okay? And look at the amount of pending. That just tells me that number's gone down pretty good too. That there's just not as much competition out there, okay? So essentially as a buyer, if it still works for you and you can get locked in, you can go shopping. You can, kind of like the old days, you can go look at a house that's been on the market for, you don't have to go rush and make a decision right away. Now, if a home's properly marketed and priced correctly, it will likely still go fast, but priced correctly right now is really, really difficult for sellers because they're still looking at those numbers on the Zillow's estimates that are way, way, way inflated right now because they have not updated their algorithms to what's going on right now. So don't panic, buyers. If you know you're going to be in a situation for at least 5 years, you need to buy. Right now is a great opportunity to do so because competition is super, super low right now. And interest rates are still at a reasonable level where who knows what they'll be in 6 months. Okay. So next week, the number that I keep going, I'm going to keep really paying attention to. This one, obviously, those price reviews. Every week, like the first day I look at here. Interesting, but also the days on market and average sold price. Okay, I'm not expecting this to go just plummet by any means, but I do expect it to go down along with days on market to go up here in the coming weeks. All right, that's it for this week. My name is Joy Walker. My number is 360-265-3205. If you need to get a hold of me, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to go over this with you. I'm going to come back at you next week with some fresh stats. And if there's anything in particular you want me to talk about or go over, please leave me a message, shoot me a text, and I'd be happy to do so. But that is it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Bye.